What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing Podcast with In-Depth, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. Today, for this episode, is part 2 of marketing trends. So it's just not me. I got my favorite gal of this marketing expert podcast, Réland Logan. What's up?
Hi, everyone. Not a whole lot. Happy to be here again. Hello to all of you who are brand new listeners. Super excited to get to know you in this 20 minutes. And for those of you who are coming back, well, thank you for coming back time after time and dealing with my sass and laughter.
Let's get it. Let's go.
So Nathan, what are we talking about? I was about to say, he did give me control today, everyone.
Yes.
Let's
yes,
do this.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, ma'am. So, friends, if you didn't listen to the previous podcast, to give you a little background, we went over Forbes 15 marketing predictions for 2024. And we did that at a very lightning speed, as well as it was just speed and sass all the way through, because some of these topics really do needed to be dived in deeper. So I took a deeper look. I grouped some of these concepts together and wanted to chop it up with you and Nathan and go really into what some of this might mean for 2024, how much of this is just, did they really try? And what do you need to know about some of these topics as you move forward? Yes, it's February, but think back to last year. February 2023 feels a long time ago. So let's see how this really pans out. I got a little heated about the idea of employee influencers.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We really do need an episode of us just seeing where we can throw in random lyrics as a joke and make a playlist out of it. Anywho.
Yes.
It's getting hot in here.
Essential influence. Oh! Okay.
Okay. I can't stop laughing. Employees as essential influencers. There are some ethical things that I find really disturbing about using employees as essential influencers, especially when in part of that article we talked about decreasing content teams, internal content teams. So if we're going to start using our employees and leveraging their influence within the marketplace, what we're going to start to find is when there's already a lot of pressure on marketing departments. In some teams, marketing is the marketing director, and that's it. And we're really asked to do too much. We're asked to be unicorns, and then when it's gross. And when we are asked to do so much, and then we can't deliver, it's because we can only spin so many plates at one time. So to take from that, but to ask for more employees to be influencers, someone has to manage that. Someone has to manage that.
Putting on camera on somebody, and then they don't know, like, what do you want me to do? You're trying to show this authentic person doing this real life task in their job, and so what do you want me to do? And it's like, okay, now you just ruined it. So now you got to script it, and it's going to come off the way you think it's going to be. So it's going to come off scripted, which means it's going to take time. That's money. Time is money. And then it's not going to look good. So then you're going to have to go and really hire actors that are not actors. Why do you think it says in commercials, these are actor portrayal? Sorry.
It's an actor portrayal, and some some employees don't want to be the face of your company.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's
They just
really
want to collect their paycheck.
that was a tangent. That's the real, yeah. That's what I want. Yeah, get back to. People don't want to be on camera. People say I'm not. I
Dude,
don't want
like some
that.
people don't want to do that.
Yeah,
What if you
and
have an
then
employee who has an amazing following? Go for it, Nathan. And then
well, and then if it goes a bad, if it gets bad views, they don't want to be a part of it. If it gets good views, do they get paid more for it?
are you going to consider their views a KPI? And who's going to track that?
Mm. But like what you were about to say, which please continue on. If they have a following, uh, or I mean, is this something where you're gonna leverage that, and for their good, do they get paid extra for it? I mean, shouldn't they?
Well, and here's the thing. Well, they should. Just an FYI, I think that, if you're asking this of them, they
I
should. But I
agree.
think they should also have a choice. But what if somebody does have a huge following? Let's say they have 10,000 plus. No, you know what? Let's say 5,000 because that's still high but really high for an employee. You have 5,000
Hmm.
plus people who follow them on LinkedIn. Okay?
Hmm.
And millennials as a group, we tend to have
Hmm.
extra side hustles because we're paying the exorbitant rates of college that we got handed to, but you all wonder why we don't all own homes. So let's say this person has 5,000 followers. They use that following because it's their following, it's their LinkedIn for their side hustle. But you recognize that they have influence in some capacity. Are you going to dilute their
Hmm.
own marketing efforts to better their own family because it's important to you to get your employee influencer marketing out? Where
Hmm.
do those lines merge? And why is it okay
Yeah.
for you to have that much control over their LinkedIn unless you're paying for it?
Mm.
And even then you're paying for their sales navigator, which means you control their DMs, not what they're posting.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, that's
it is
yeah,
it is a
and
very blurry line.
I was man, I was just about to say that because if you're going to say that someone who has 5,000 followers versus someone who has 2,000 influencers, that still takes quite a bit of time to do on LinkedIn. And if you're asking them to get contracts, that takes considerable amount of time. And if someone knows how to work it better, if they're not getting paid more for it, but if it's a requirement, oh, that's a very blurred line that definitely needs to be spelled out and needs to be incentivized, and then be and because that's just in my opinion, mm, a new version of being a used car salesperson.
It is, and it's another thing that I struggle with, going back to we keep shrinking our marketing teams. Most of your employees are not
Mm,
within marketing. That is not their skill set. That is not what they signed up to do. And so
right,
if you're
right.
letting just employees do this all willy nilly, now we're lacking strategy, which creates chaos and which could lead to your constituents, the people who are coming into your realm, to have marketing fatigue because Brittany's over here posting it, Mark's over there posting it, everyone's over here posting it.
Mhm.
And we're going to dilute the waters because there really is no quality to this because there's no structure and there's no
Right.
real plan in place. And people are savvy. Your younger generations in work are savvy. Millennials and Gen Z, this is all we know. And
Mm,
so we know when you didn't actually put a plan together. We know when you're not intentional.
mm.
We can see it. We
Yeah.
can tell what is organic. We can tell what, for the most part, has been generated by AI. You're not that slick. And we can tell when there was thought put behind it.
And I'll
It
just
doesn't take
jump
a marketer to
to
see some of those things.
and if you're really going to have, I mean, there's already folks that are micro influencers. So you can say in number 12 that they are discuss somewhat leverage the micro influencers in your industry and community. There are already folks that are doing it. Ray's one, I'm one. We're already doing it. We just don't have multi-million dollar deals like Nicki Minaj or Drake. So yes, I'm Drake and Ray is Nicki Minaj. And so or she's Cardi
Oh,
B and
sorry,
okay, my
Nikki. There's a
bad.
million other people I'd rather be.
uh, sorry, yeah, there's others. So there's so, and I just kept it in the hip hop world, just because, when it comes to influences that can be flipped from music to entertainment to apparel. We say the was it the name, likeness, and influence. All wait, it was no, it's not. I forget what the name. No, NIL, name, image, and likeness. Is what the sports world uses. It's the same thing in the music industry, but it's the same thing in other things, but on a very micro level in the community, like they say in the industry, people go with who they know, like, and trust. So you can say the rise of it, but I don't think it's the rise. It's just finally people are catching on and acknowledging that there are folks that in the industry that people are go tos, period. But it's always been that way. We just now all agree that that's the norm.
I think, and this is going to be critical of this article. I'm going to say it, and I don't care. Sorry, Forbes. I think that this article is probably 4 years too late.
Ooh, ooh.
Micro
Well,
influencers have
I mean,
existed
I
since before
agree.
2020. There's no
So
rise.
so
There
true.
were literal MarTech platforms to find micro influencers. There's more of them today. There's no rise of them. They've been here. Like,
Mm,
an unfortunate influx of impersonal content. We've had AI for a long time. It's just everybody else didn't know how to like tap into it or didn't realize that that's what it was. And we've had it since
mm.
prior to the pandemic. We've
Oh yeah.
had like you can become a data scientist. That is a degree you've been able to get. So why is market science now at this in this article when it has been around since I was in college, let alone a focus of impact on tech and data? Well, why do we have MarTech? This article is late. It is late.
Well, well,
Sorry, not sorry.
right. And I think they wanted to, like,
It's like your parents
we
going
put
on
a
Facebook.
oh, it's funny, but it's not because um well, let me just go backwards to number 11, the unfortunate influx of impersonal content. And they say marketers must not lose sight of organic, personalized content and increase their use of video. Basically, there's just saying, which I don't think they worded it correctly. They just want you to show more authenticity, and so you can be more of a influencer by using user generated content, which I know we were going to jump to here soon. But Ray said in the last podcast, it is delivering more quality content if you are authentic, but you're just being real. Stop shoving fakeness in things that you have scripted. That's what people get tired of. So, like you said, 4 years too late, 5, 10 people. We've already had Jared from Subway got busted because he was influencer using his influencer content to do sexual abuse to little kids. But that was before the internet really was around. Come on, people. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to
It,
affirm that.
but
Right.
it's true. All this
Yeah.
article did was put words to what already exists. It already
Yeah.
exists. The questions that people need to be asking themselves if you go and read this article is what if this works for my current brand strategy? What if this works?
Facts.
Because I'm still laughing at number 6. Like, I find it comical that we are in 2024 and we have to say a trend is to focus on branding and brand awareness. That's not a
And
trend. That is a skill and a
no.
habit that you should have in place.
And that's your top of the funnel. If you don't even have that as like a part of your strategy, as a playbook, as that, if that's not something you're measuring, good God, you are, oh, I'm sorry. I can't even help you. I don't want to help you, to be honest. Mind blown. Yeah,
Here's
let's
here's the
let's
thing that
read
I'm going
through
to
it.
say about that. If you don't know that that's important, like me, I'm just like so passionate about it. This is why I do branding, everyone. This right here. If you don't know that brand is supposed to be the central hub, the soul of what you do, it means you're just starting out
Mm,
and you don't have a background in marketing. There's nothing wrong with that.
mm.
But for those who are listening to
No,
this and
it's
are
not.
marketers, if this is new info to you, you need to look in the mirror
Mm,
and have a deep conversation with yourself.
mm. And if you are reading this
Mama.
article as like someone who's new to marketing and you're delivering marketing services, and if you are not focusing on, even if it's something as easy as digital deliverables such as images or logos, even, that's branding. And if you are failing to speak that language to people, please get out of the business. Don't offer that because you are doing a disservice.
You know what hurts my heart? I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and this is still on number 6. It is when I see lots of different agencies, some not even just marketing. Marketing, it happens often, but it makes sense a little bit. But it's like when you have business coaches and people who help, career coaches, when they're like, we also offer branding. No, you don't. You don't.
Mm,
You're using that as a very blanket term. You can think you do, and this is going to hurt your feelings, and you're going to be like, but I do. No,
mm,
you don't.
mm.
What you do is say, I'm going to help you with your image. I'm going to help you like fix your LinkedIn. You probably, if me and you chatted, would be so blown away by the questions that I ask to get to a
Mm.
place to create a full concept that is felt, seen, and heard. There are
Yes.
many elements to that people don't even realize there's branding. And it's the ability to take information and distill it and get to the core of a situation. So
Mm,
it's misconceptualized on a regular basis. I understand this, but you're doing real branders a disservice when you are out here saying that you offer branding services when that is not what you do. Stay in your lane,
mm.
please. Have a nice day.
Well,
Woosah.
what I right, I was like, take a break, because I want to. Because you saw me lean back. I leaned back when you were talking. I was like, oh, yep, let me get comfortable with this because she's about to go in.
She's
I was like, she's
on
about to.
one. We need to like get
Ah.
flames that like come up when one of us gets on a tangent of this is not okay. Um
She's heating up. Yeah, but this goes to number 9. Yeah, that was the Tecmo Bowl. The offline tangible experiences. When we talk about branding, if you're not providing a offline tangible experience, even even video games provide competitions for people to appear to. They provide on even though it's online, it's in person. And the in person experiences are fire, but they
oh my
don't
gosh.
just only rely on online communities. They rely on their in person communities too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because they
Go ahead.
build community. They build community. We can say that we have
Right.
communities online, but I'd say we have shared
Mm-hmm.
experiences online. not necessarily community, because community is being able to hug somebody, being able to talk to them, being able to know them and form deeper connections, and knowing that there's people who are going to help you. I think some people do show up to social media with a community mindset and they do an amazing job. I can't say that I feel that everyone does or understands that concept, but experientials
Mm-hmm.
are so real. They're so needed. They are one of the greatest things that marketing and brand brings to the table and that organizations
Mm-hmm.
bring to the table is the ability to connect over a common theme and to be an intent, make that intentional. Whether it is like video game
Mm,
competitions or if it is something silly like field days in the park. One of my friends, Ian,
mm,
here in Portland, owns Dead Stock Coffee. And during the summertime, he was just doing full on field days and like kickball and things like that to get the community outside. That has nothing to do with coffee. It's not even during your normal coffee
mm-mm,
hours, but it was an
mm.
experience that you got to have with Dead Stock. So there's
Right.
ways to generate business through that, but it's probably, I honestly prefer those over user generated content. Cool, you got a new blush, but like what kind of beauty bar experience could we have?
Well,
It's
we are
it
at our
makes people
20-minute
feel
mark.
excited. We're so
Yes, and
good
I
at
didn't
going
want to cut
over.
you off.
Sorry,
I
everyone.
know, I know. No, don't apologize. This is great. This is some of the stuff we said that people should pay for. But one last thing to that, to like wrap that up in a pretty little bow, and then Ray, you can close us out. Is that branding is not selling. So please, if you are doing something like as Ian is doing, just like what Ray said, it's not even coffee hours. I'm sure I never attended any of those kickballs, but I'm sure he's not out there peddling his coffee bags or his shirts, saying, "Here, in order for you to play kickball, you need to buy a cup of coffee." And so you're not
No.
working anyone to get a sale. So I just want to make sure you understand branding is not selling and selling is not branding. They're totally two different things. So do not expect the outcome of, oh, I'm going to do something for branding and I'm going to get a sale. Do not do that. You will
No.
lose every time. How do you want to close this out, Ray? Is there
Everything's right.
anything else you want to talk about?
No, thank you
Or
all
go
for
ahead if you want to
listening.
add
If you
something
made
else.
it to this point, I do not, because we'd have a whole nother podcast episode on our hands if I go down the road of branding and selling. We're not gonna cross that bridge today. No, no. See what I mean? Here I was like, hey, everybody, thanks for being here. And now I've zoned in. But in respect of everyone's time, because I'm sure you've met your destination if you're in the car, or hey, you might need to go pick up your kids, whatever it is that you need to get to next. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you for taking in our serious moments, taking in our giggles. Um, Kudos to whoever can come up with a playlist out of all the episodes with me, Jay, or Nathan in them for song references. I will send you a present. I don't know what it is yet, but send that to Nathan and we will make that happen because you deserve an award for picking up all of our songs. However, I digress. Always on a tangent over here. Thank you so much for listening. If you're looking for me and want to say hello, you can find me on LinkedIn under Réland Logan. There should only be one, RELANDLOGAN. And you can also find me at graydigitalmktg.co. And Gray Digital MKTG is also my handles on other social media. So I look forward to chatting with you. Would love to hear your opinions. And I'm going to let Nathan really wrap it up and say goodbye, but appreciate all of you for being here with us today.
So until next time, until next time, you heard it first. Ray, you did a phenomenal job. You got to do that more often. I like that. I like that. I like that. Thank you. Thank you. Until next time, you hear the first. Let's talk marketing with Inda. Dream big and what's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here.